Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. I did a little bit of Googling this morning, and if you watched some of my videos recently, I've said that the court's a complete joke. Yeah, they really have exceeded their boundaries of responsibility. I went ahead and again, I'm going to attach this article. It's most interesting. The title, The Role of the Supreme Court. Why it was created, the power it holds in our government, and how justice makes their often difficult decisions. The Supreme Court has a special role to play in the United States system of government. The Constitution gives it the power to check, if necessary, the actions of the President and Congress. It can tell a president that his actions are not allowed by the Constitution. It can tell Congress that a law it passed violates the U.S. Constitution and is therefore no longer a law. It can also tell the government of a state that one of its laws breaks a rule in the Constitution. The Supreme Court is the final judge in all cases involving laws of Congress and the highest law of all, the Constitution. So, how is it then that the Supreme Court can tell President Trump that he can do half of what he wants to do when it comes to the immigration? How is it that the Supreme Court can determine as to whether or not gays can get married? Where is that in the Constitution? How is it that the Supreme Court can determine on the legality or illegality of abortions? Where does it say that in the Constitution? It doesn't. The Supreme Court justices abuse the power that they have. And our government, our Congress, and our president sits back and doesn't do anything about any of it. The Supreme Court, however, is far from all powerful. Its power is limited by the other two branches of the government. The president nominates justices to the court. Well, here's the problem. If you got whacked out presidents like Barack Hussein Obama, who put Elena Kagan, who wasn't even a judge on the Supreme Court, and Sonia Sotomayor, who are both left-wing freaks, the system doesn't work. Are you sort of getting a clue? The Senate must vote its approval of the nominations. The whole Congress also has greater power over the lower courts in the federal system. District and appeals court are created by acts of Congress. These courts can be abolished if Congress wishes it. Why doesn't Congress start abolishing some of these lower courts, like the Ninth Circuit Court or the Eighth Appeals Court? The Supreme Court is like a referee on a football field. No, they're not. They're dictators. They determine what they believe is legal and illegal. The Congress, the President, the state police, and other government officials are the players. Some can pass laws and others can enforce laws, but all exercise power within certain boundaries. These boundaries are set by the Constitution. As the referee in the U.S. government, it is the Supreme Court's job to say when government officials step out of bounds. Well, who's to say when these whacked out Supreme Court justices, like Justice John Roberts, had stuffed Obamacare down our throats so he could keep his children that he adopted from Ireland? Who's to say when Elena Kagan and Sotomayor and Ruth Ginsburg decide to turn on the law to support their own twisted ideology? Who's to say when the Supreme Court can rule with 9 justices that President Donald Trump can't prevent people from coming to this country that have relatives in this country, or universities that have already accepted some of these students from these various twisted, evil countries? That's insane. Where does it say that within the Constitution? Where the hell are our lawmakers, huh? They're all getting ready to go on vacation. That's where they are. Read the article. There's more that might interest you. Why don't you get a hold of the White House and ask them to wake the hell up, huh? Enough of this crap with the Supreme Court. They're worthless. Congress is worthless. The Senate is worthless. That's sort of what I think. Read the article. Let me know what you think.